Welcome to Durango Cooks, the cooking show with local ingredients, local chefs, and local flavor. Durango Cooks is brought to you by Durango Coffee Company, Nature's Oasis, and Inside Durango TV.
Welcome to Durango Cooks. We are at Nature's Oasis, Durango's great natural market. As you can see, we have a plethora of squash. This will be one of our main ingredients in our dish today. Let's head back to the kitchen and find out what we're going to be cooking up with Chef Charles Childers. All right, we are back in the kitchen of Chef Charles at Nature's Oasis. We always love being here. Thank you for having us again.
Thank you for having me again.
You're welcome. All right, we are smack in the middle, almost actually towards the end of growing season, and you're going to utilize local great ingredients that are happening right now. What are we doing?
We're going to make a butternut squash risotto with a little bit of fontina cheese, some fresh local tomatoes and basil as a garnish. And that's what we're making.
Now, a butternut squash is one of the ones that they're incredibly flavorful, but I think oftentimes people see this at the store and they think, I don't know what to do with this. So you're going to show us what to do today.
I am. I've got a pretty good peeler here. It's got a good sharp blade, and you really need a good peeler for butternut squash.
Durango Coffee Company, you can find them there.
You can find them at Durango Coffee Company, absolutely. So the first thing we're going to do is just lay it down. I usually just do the top of my squash first, and then deal with the difficult part at the bottom.
Look at that, beautiful, quick. And
yes,
this is one of the ones,
quick.
I mean, literally like a half an hour later, I'd still be at the sink. So what are we doing next here?
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to just take the top and the bottom off, cut it in half, de-seed it, and cut it down into steamable size cubes.
Okay.
I cannot stress how much a sharp knife makes a huge difference doing this with such a tough vegetable.
It's incredible, the selection of sharp knives, if you will, beautiful culinary sets at Durango Coffee Company. If you don't know what you're looking for, they can certainly help you. And obviously, Charles is a strong guy here. You even put some muscle into cutting this in half.
You really have to with a fresh butternut squash.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we got it popped in half, and basically all we need to do is just take these seeds out.
Okay.
So now we've got it cut in half, we've got it seeded, and we're just going to cut it into small enough pieces that they'll steam relatively quickly. This is the way I cut butternut squash. I just cut it into strips like this. You have to be careful not to cut yourself. Now we're going to cube it. We want to make it relatively the same size. You want to make it about a medium cut, or a medium dice, if you will.
So they cook evenly as you steam them?
So they cook evenly, and so they cook a little faster. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and drop this into a Le Creuset pot from Durango Coffee Company. This is a really nice French pot. This is beautiful. All we need to do is just dump that right in there. Make sure it's at least relatively even layer. Cap it off. That shouldn't take any more than about 10 minutes to steam.
Where are we at in this whole process?
Well, where we're at here is we're just going to go ahead and prep out the onion and garlic to get those sautéing in this big pot here. Whenever you're cutting anything, you always want to create a flat surface to make it safe to cut with. This is part of what I teach in cooking classes here in the Valley for Cooking Matters. And I teach people how to cut vegetables safely and how to make inexpensive, very healthy meals. So we've got the onion cut up. The next thing we need to do is just chop up a little bit of garlic. This is a garlic holder from Durango Coffee Company. It's got little air holes to keep the garlic fresh, and it's made of terracotta to absorb any of the moisture that could cause rot. Just pop these out like so. Just lay it on a flat side, put the blade of your knife there, and just pop it.
There you go.
And then that paper just comes right off. It's already halfway crushed, and you're already most of the way there.
Wow, that is so much easier than what we do to ourselves.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get the fire into this pot. We're going to add a little bit of extremely high quality extra virgin olive oil. I'm just going to hit it with just a couple tablespoons of olive oil.
Great.
Let that get hot. While we're waiting for this olive oil to get hot, I'm going to go ahead and just check this butternut squash. I just use it with a fork, and it's just going through. That's perfect, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that flame off. We've got our olive oil nice and hot for our onions and garlic, so we're gonna go ahead and throw that in there. That's plenty hot. Just wanna cook this onion and garlic just until you're really starting to smell it. It's really super aromatic. In the pan, that's a good time to go ahead and hit it with your rice. You just want it to just start to caramelize. You want to just create a little bit of fond on the bottom of the pan. The fond is the dark color on the bottom of the pan, and again, that's the sugars that you're pulling out of the food. How you get the fond off the bottom of the pan is you deglaze with a little bit of liquid. I'm going to go ahead and deglaze with a little bit of white wine. And you want to stir it to get all that fond up off the bottom, because that fond is all the flavor. So now at this point starts all of the stirring.
All right.
So you just add about a cup of vegetable stock at a time. Gonna go ahead and reduce the temperature down just to about half heat so that it'll keep the stock boiling, but not boil off too fast. And you just have to sit here and stir it.
And this is where you start recruiting your friends and make sure that you have at least 6 or 8 people over for your dinner party.
Or you can see that this liquid's already burnt off really fast. It's already evaporated really, really quickly.
And it's absorbing some as well.
And it's absorbing some as well. The first few ladles will evaporate pretty quickly because your pan was so hot, but then it'll start to slow down.
Okay.
Now what's happening as you're sitting here stirring this rice is it's starting to cook and it's starting to break down, and the starches from the outer hull of the rice are cooking themselves into the liquid and into the dish, which causes it to be very creamy.
The creamy effect that a risotto would
That's
have.
right.
Stick around, we'll be right back with more Durango Cooks at Nature's Oasis with Chef Charles. Well, this really is a group effort. I've been recruited. I am now stirring.
Yeah, but you actually have to stir it, not just move it around. There you go.
Put your back into it. We have been stirring and stirring. It's now Charles stirring. So depending on how much rice you're cooking, that'll determine how long you stir.
Yes,
but we're there.
We are there. I believe we're there. I just want to check it. You can see how it's created this beautiful creamy coating around the rice, but the rice is still intact. So what we're gonna do, just to make this even a little more creamier and a little more decadent, is we're gonna add a little bit of Boar's Head Fontina cheese. This is some Fontina cheese that we carry at the store. It's originated in Sweden, and it's made out of whole milk, so it's really got a fairly high amount of milk fat in it.
Very creamy cheese.
Very creamy cheese.
Very soft, creamy cheese.
So the best thing you can do is add about a cup of shredded Fontina to that. And you might as well,
while you're at it,
go ahead and put in your steamed butternut squash and stir it all in at the same time.
May I start?
Please, please do. Do you want the pot holder?
Look, I do.
It goes
want
with
the
your
pot holder.
dress.
This is beautiful. It does. All right. Yum. This looks very creamy and cheesy.
Man, that looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and plate this up real quick. Now the thing about risotto is you don't need huge portions because it's so decadent.
Very rich, a very rich dish.
Very rich. So I think if we just do about yay much, and you can see that that butternut squash is broken up just a little bit in there, but it's still
not mush.
It's still not mush, so you got a little bit of body to it. This is an Italian dish, so we're going to use Italian garnish. What we've got here is an herb saver from Durango Coffee Company with a little bit of purple basil and green basil from Twin Buttes Farm, just west of town. I went ahead and chiffonaded that real quick, just a nice thin long cut.
Now we have these wonderful tomatoes.
And these tomatoes are grown by my buddy John out of Blue Heron Farm, which is just south of town on Sunnyside Mesa.
Okay.
And as far as I know, he only grows these tomatoes for himself and the deli at Nature's Oasis.
No kidding.
No kidding.
You have the inside scoop.
I do. So we're just going to throw just a little bit of cold, fresh chopped tomato on there. Just like that. Makes a nice, pretty dish.
I say that we head to the dining area of Nature's Oasis and give it a try.
I am so ready.
Let's go.
All right.
Well, we've made our way to the dining area of Nature's Oasis, and Charles, tell us what we have here, just as a recap.
Well, this is a beautiful butternut squash risotto garnished with fresh local tomatoes and 2 different kinds of basil from Twin Butte Farms.
Wonderful dish for the fall season with all the squash and other local ingredients we have. What would you suggest pairing with this if you were to put a wine or a beer with it?
If I was going to pair it with anything, I'm a firm believer that champagne goes with anything. But if I was going to go beyond that, I would go with a nice crisp white wine, something that would really clear your palate after a nice creamy heavy pasta dish. Or
Sure.
rice dish, I should say.
Absolutely, sure. Well, I can't wait to taste it. And if you're interested in making this, please go to durangotv.com where you can get the recipe. And Chef, as always, thank you so much. Bon appetit.
Thank you, Louisa.
Yummy.
Thanks for watching Durango Cooks. Durango Cooks is brought to you by Durango Coffee Company, Nature's Oasis, and Inside Durango TV.